Thanks for having me, everyone. So my name is Austin, as she said, and the way I want to kind of do this is more freeform. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to stop me and go ahead. So I guess I'm brought in today to talk a little bit about what I do in my mission. And so the way I like to do things is more freeform. So if you do have a question, feel free to raise your hand or interject, and we'll take that tangent and go down that route. Otherwise, I will simply kind of talk about what we do. So one of the first things that Tanya wanted to talk about was my show, Millionaires. So this was founded before I even moved down here. I kind of went through a period of I've been hustling and making money and doing all this great stuff and all these businesses, and a couple of my business partners and I decided that it wasn't worth our efforts anymore. So I sold a lot of my businesses or hired managers and decided to move on to the next phase of my life, which was essentially telling everything I did for free. So Millionaires was born from the fact that when I travel, I find that there's lots of knowledge that maybe Americans have, that Thai people don't have, that Japanese don't have, that Europeans and it all isn't just necessarily financial health, but also within your spiritual health or mental health or your physical health. And I started realizing it was kind of interesting that there's no flat bottom line. So that's where I decided to start Millionaires, where every week we do 2 episodes on each. An episode is on one aspect of health. So there's 6 aspects of health that we all believe are very equal. Your physical health, your financial health, mental health, intellectual health, social health, and spiritual health. We find 3 guests. They come in. They give a very simple tip on how to make your life better in that aspect. We talk about it for 30 minutes, and you have 3 tips that can help you if you're working, say, suicide. Mental health suicide was last week. So if you know anyone and most people don't actually talk about it, but if anyone runs into that episode, they have 3 tips on how to move through that. And so Millionaires became a top 100 Apple podcast about 6 months ago within our first 200 episodes. So that was a huge achievement. Apparently we're doing something helpful to the community. And so from that, now we kind of bring it in. On this island, I do a monthly networking event. It's all completely free. Usually we come in, we mingle. I do like a 15-minute presentation on whatever topic we decide beforehand. And then we connect the dots, who wants to hang out with who and do what. We've raised money for the sewing club at one of the local high schools, like $700 on the spot, which was very cool. And so it's a way that we can just bring community together. Any questions so far?
When you say millionaire,
Yes.
define.
Yeah, so I think a millionaire, you can be a millionaire in all 6 aspects. So you can be a financial millionaire. There's people that have great physical health and they're millionaires there. Spiritually, there's people like the Dalai Lama and others that have strong spiritual, and so you can be a millionaire in all 6 different aspects. So it's not just about money, which is something I had to learn difficultly, after I made a lot of money and decided, wow, this isn't really everything life should be. And so through my own personal journey, I found that there's really a lot of different areas to become a millionaire.
In the money aspect, would you now say in this economy that somebody that has $1 million is a millionaire?
By definition, I guess if their net worth is $1 million, I would say a millionaire. But if you're asking if they're, nowadays $1 million is, I would say still somewhat significant. If your net worth was $1 million, you're probably pretty well off. And I think that income inequality, especially after COVID, is worse than it's ever been. And so if you have $1 million, you're definitely in the upper echelon versus many people that COVID did not help. Lockdowns and COVID and all of that.
To log into your podcast, you have a code,
Yeah, so for the podcast, you can go to millionairesaremade.com.
Oh, okay.
And you can sign up to be a guest. Literally everyone here is welcome to be a guest on the show. We have our next 6 months of topics lined up, so you can find a topic that you feel comfortable with and you can be a guest on the show.
Okay.
We also just launched this year guest hosts, so that now other people can practice interviewing and questioning and being a podcast host, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, millionairesaremade.com. We're on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those fun places. And all the shows are obviously free. You can watch us on Spotify and Apple as well. Wherever you want to get your podcast from.
Very cool.
I'm sorry?
Are you a millionaire?
I am a millionaire.
In which aspect?
Financially, for sure. You know, I think that all of them, you should really be working on them your whole life.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
good.
it's all a journey. I don't think you can really end and say, okay, now I'm as smart as I ever need to be, or now I, you know, my walk with God or whatever creator you believe in is where it should be at. And so, it's always a progressing type of relationship with those. So
Even financially, right?
even financially, yeah. I mean, I don't know if any of you have businesses, but I mean, I assume you all do. But man, COVID was a big curveball. You get curveballs all the time. You think you have your business set and it's, you know, a little revenue stream, and all of a sudden one little thing happens and now you have to refigure it all out. So yeah, financially it's always a constant
You
battle.
have to, right?
All day, every day. You have to work in your faith. Your social health is one that a lot of people, I think, forget about, especially during lockdowns. I mean, humans are built to be community, built to have each other and
Social
take care of each
beings.
other.
Yep.
So your social health, some people, especially after COVID, a lot of isolation, you know, mental health is weaker than it used to be, and so a lot of those things get neglected. So we try to kind of bring those out too. And social health is one of the ones that we get the most like, holy cow, I never thought about, you know, actually like trying to get better relationships, getting more friends or better friends, or my family, or touching base with people I haven't talked to in years. And so that's a huge one for me too.
What are some of the businesses you are involved in?
On island or back in the States?
Back in the States.
So back in the States, I have run through so much. So I've got grocery stores, a liquor shop, marketing firms, so a coffee shop, and a few other. So the marketing, definitely a lot of that, and a big one I do is coaching. And so I was going to tie into that too. Thank you. So I've been a business coach for like 15 years, and have kind of evolved that into more of a general life coaching. And now on this island, well, actually everywhere, I do free sessions now. So I have free coaching that I give out. A lot of people that are just, I mean, I think everyone has a period in their life where they're just lost and not sure where to go, or they feel like they've accomplished something but they're not satisfied. And so I try to help people break it out and achieve their dreams. It's ultimately the goal, right?
What businesses do you have
Here, so I'm helping out with this. We do original long drinks. It's a good product. I'm actually helping a friend that he had a visa issue. He had a lot of personal issues, so I'm helping him out. And then me and my best friend made a movie, a feature film. So we're having our premiere down here on March 7th. So throwing that event is going to be kind of fun. And then I'm also helping Bluebeards. We're throwing a big St. Patty's Day pool party. I like to throw events too. I have an events company in Colorado. It's another one. But I also like to have some fun and bring people together.
Where the movie is going to be?
At Caribbean Cinemas, March 7th at 7 p.m.
Okay. Awesome.
Is that your flyer there?
Yeah, you want to check it out?
What was the process?
The trailer's there. You can learn more, all that kind of stuff.
What was the process to make the movie? Made it here? Made it in the States?
It was
or-
made before I moved here
Okay.
in 2021. So we had to deal with some COVID lockdowns still. In Denver, there were still here and there restrictions. And so it's been about 4 years of editing sound and this and that. And so hopefully we can bring some of the cast down and have like a fun little thing and build some film around here.
What's the film about?
So the film's it's actually about people that lose sight of their dreams. People that, you know, maybe they take on a bartending job to help put them through college, and then all of a sudden 10 years later they aren't even in college anymore and they're just bartending. And so it's kind of about...
Sorry. Not too
I
personal.
I think a lot of people can relate to it, and so it's kind of a movie you'll probably cry, and then hopefully at the end of it you leave inspired to go define what your dream is and define an action plan to go get to it. So
I love that.
So it's about people that essentially are just, you know, going through and they're on their dream path, and slowly little life things take you off. So hopefully it's where we can kind of shut it up and get back on your dream path. I'm sorry that it relates to you, but I also think it relates to 90% of the world. I think everyone gets a little lost at some point.
Did you say 7 p.m.?
7 p.m. Yeah. Yeah.
So you just go and buy a ticket.
The ticket link is there, so you can buy them online beforehand, and then there's also the trailer on there as well, and the QR codes. But it's really well done. It's we're very anti-Hollywood. Our group over there. I think most people nowadays are pretty anti-Hollywood with all the chaos that's been going on. So
I saw the trailer. The trailer was really good.
It's about an hour and a half movie. It's a full length feature film. And so that's something else I'm doing on the island. I do my networking events. I volunteer with Nana Baby, the Taco Throwdown. If you guys haven't been, you are missing out. Every November, we throw a huge event at Megan's Tacos and Margaritas. So I work with Darian and John a lot on that, which is super fun. Yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff. And so that's kind of what I've been doing on the island. Let me check my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything.
When's the next networking? You said once a month of Black
Yeah, so it'll be like the third week of March
Okay, third week of
on a
March.
Thursday. And I can give all this info to Tanya and have her spread it out. Okay, yeah, I think that's...
Question, did Tanya invite you to join Rotary too?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I want to encourage you as
No
well.
pressure, Tanya. No pressure, Tanya.
She very heavily convinced me. No, I don't have much information on joining Rotary, but I'd be interested in doing that, of course.
Tanya,
See you again. So I do have one last thing that I am going to try to do as soon as I'm done with these events and have more time. Yeah, this is, I have to make sure I'm not violating SEC laws. So a goal for me on this island is to bring down a shipping container that's already formatted, and we sell them in the Colorado a lot. Bring it down here and put it somewhere on this island where it produces about 400 pounds of food every week, so we can produce our own food. But the goal for me is to have it be not owned by anyone with genuine wealth and have shares of it owned by all the people in the island. And then have like quarterly meetings where they get payouts, and so that everyone that has never owned a business or maybe doesn't even know what investing is can take part and learn that as they own a piece of the company.
Explain that. You said.
Yeah, so this is so it's going to be about $350,000 to bring down the shipping container. It's already built, ready to produce food, like leafy greens, spinaches, and kale, and that kind
I
of
don't
stuff.
understand produce food. I don't understand.
I'm sorry?
To
When you
grow.
said produce food.
Grow.
It's going to grow.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like,
It's
you
like a
bring down the
hydroponic.
container.
Yeah, so it's like a vertical farm inside a
Oh, okay.
container.
All right. Because I was like,
Yeah.
what?
And so
Not a
we-
factory.
We actually
Not
just
to be
sent one to
confused
the
with a factory.
Bahamas. Jamaica has a couple, and so I want to start with one. And I already have people that want to invest. They're like, oh yeah, I'll put the 350 in, and I'm like, well, if you already have this, I would love to have it. I mean, obviously someone's gonna have to have a majority, but I would love to have where everyone can just spend like $500 and get a share, and there's like 100 shares or something of that sort. And then quarterly meetings where we have our CPA and we have our lawyer, and everyone kind of learns how we're running the business, how payouts work, and that kind of stuff. Is going to be my next project. It's somewhat difficult to do because you solicit ownership without following. We might have to file with the SEC, et cetera, et cetera. But that's the next big goal, is to have like 1,000 people on the island own part of a food producing company. And then if it works out well, we can buy 2 or 3 shipping containers and eventually, hopefully, grow all our own food on the island.
That'd be awesome.
And have it be owned by the island.
So when you talk about
That's key.
continues to grow food, you also know that we have an issue with water in this island. So have you tied into the water supply
So
to
the
make this farm?
goal is to not tie into the water supply. The goal is to have it all off-grid, so it'll be run by solar and run by a cistern that feeds straight into it.
So where's the water come from?
The cistern.
Oh, you don't have a system. So
Cistern or tanks?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry,
Is that
a way to collect rainwater off of a unit into it.
Okay.
the systems are very expensive to build.
No, that's why I ask it that way. It isn't. You really don't need to build systems these days. The tanks are good enough and they're sturdy enough that.
Yeah, so they have them already designed for arid places where they can collect the water.
So the system will be a part of the container.
Yep, it should be all self-sufficient.
Would this affect the local food stores like Fuko or places like that? Do you
Hopefully we would sell to them.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
it'd almost be even cooler if we sold directly to our shareholders. If we have 500 shareholders and produces 400 pounds a week, everyone gets a pound a week, 4 pounds a month, or whatever that process works out as the numbers come.
There is a farm on St. Paul. Are you familiar with that?
Seja. I think it's called. I think it's
Saja Farms.
Saja Farms, possibly. I know there's. I know the farm, and they can deliver.
I don't know.
There's two on St. Thomas as well. One of them just went out of business, and they use equipment. So I have a vertical farm in Colorado, so I've been growing plants for like 20 years. And so they use vertical walls that were actually manufactured, or at least sold by a guy in Longmont that I know, that I wish I would have known before he bought them. I would have told him it's not a good product. But there's a lot of issues with how vertical walls work, and so we've already used this company for years, so that's why I like them and know that they're going to do a good job. There is a shipping container in St. John, but I think that it's out of commission right now. And so really I think there's one hydro farm on island right now. And I believe that they don't do vertical farming, they do it all on tables as well. So it'll be a little more concise, but regardless, I mean, we can support many farms. Right now we import like 90% of our food.
Yep.
If we put in our own shipping container, even if that only lowers it 6%, there's still plenty of opportunity for dozens of other farms. But in the end, this community would benefit if we all grew our own food on our island versus always buying it from Puerto Rico.
There is a group, I'm sorry, there is a group out in the West End who do this. It's a vegan group.
The We Grow Food up in Bordeaux, yeah. And so they also grow more outdoor too. So they grow more naturally, which is awesome, and we definitely should buy all of their food, absolutely. But they don't grow enough for the whole island.
That's right.
And this vertical farm is going to be built just for like high production and get as much food as possible out of as little space as possible.
Do you have a list of the food you eat?
There's about 250 varieties, so as this plan starts getting flushed out, we can figure out what we want to produce. And if there's something that is in demand here that nobody's growing, then obviously we can put that in and make that as a regular thing. But 400 pounds a week it's a lot of food. There's a lot of variety we can put in there. Or we could pick just one thing and we just grow that one item for this. We could export it to the BVI.
Which flavor would you say would be the most likely that you produce initially?
Kales, spinaches, lettuces are the best ones to have there. Leafy greens are the easiest to grow in this system.
Count me in as one of the stockholders. I like to get the information as you. Maybe you can make contact with Tanya and share.
Around April 1st, I will have more information and start moving it around.
Okay. I think this is
Yeah, the goal would be to have maybe 1,000 people, $500, quarterly meetings. Everyone gets paid out off the profit.
I think it's a great idea.
And then,
Okay.
but ideally, I also want to reach out to people that have never invested and never owned a business, because
Yeah.
the education is the cool part of it too. Is when you come to a meeting, maybe it's 2 hours. Be like, hey, you put in $500. Here's maybe it's only $50 for that 3 months. Here's $50 back. Cool. So now your 500 keeps earning. You own this percent. And they can learn a little bit of what they're doing, how we're running the business, why this and that. And obviously there'll be non-voting members, so the business still runs, but that's kind of the concept, is that they get to invest and own a piece of the business that provides food, and then they get to learn, so then eventually they can hopefully grow their own business.
I'm going to assume that it's not laid like that, sir.
We'll need like 3 employees.
You know, it's very interesting. Many years ago, I wanted to start a business because I came here doing something socially, and I had no idea. My family was like business owners, like safety, but I went on meetings and start a business. I mean, I literally would ask people, and literally got started having somebody tell me and read something to me and taught me, and then of course
Sounds like you had a coach.
I was almost my own coach.
Okay.
You know.
So all a coach does is make it 10 times faster. 'Cause they've already done it.
Well, I asked people, and
Yeah,
people coach. Yes, you're right. It wasn't one specific coach, but
Nice. You have a
somebody.
good little.
I
The
finally
community.
got one opportunity, and from that opportunity, I learned, how to do this.
And that is kudos to you, because that's very difficult. I mean, as if entrepreneurs, 99% of people want to be an entrepreneur, but as soon as one little hurdle comes, they stop. It's another hurdle,
You have to be like a person who's successful in other things too. You know,
I
it's like
disagree
you,
with that. I
You
disagree
can
with that.
start so many things, and I was successful very in what I was doing, so maybe it was easier for me.
I would say it's easier if you're already successful somewhere. But you've already learned skills. You've learned how to do this and that and save and, you know, work, show up on time, work effort, work ethic, those kind of things, which mentality is a large part of entrepreneurship. You have to be ready to be told no every 10 minutes of your life.
Hurdles
Like
are
Sinclair.
standard operating procedure for any business.
Yeah.
It's expected. I said hurdles